Hello friends, in today's video we will do a testing of CT with the help of MVCT test set. This is our CT with the nameplate. You can check here the ratio 400 to 1000 by 1 ampere. So we will test the CT and perform the ratio test, saturation or excitation test, winding resistance test. And for the start the CT test, first of all we will go to setting and put the start test date and time. After selecting the date and time, we have to put the user information where we are performing the test, client information like, and put the ambient temperature. Ambient temperature is very important because test depends upon ambient temperature and varies with the ampere temperature. So after putting this, we will put the nameplate data of our CT. So as mentioned in nameplate, number of CTs and number of cores are dependent on the test report. To how many CTs we want to include in our report. So we have one CT of 2 core and we can test up to 4 ratio with this MVCT test. So at a time we can check the CT, multi-ratio CT for single core. So we will select here the number of tapes, which is 3, means the ratio of CT is 2. This is our CT 400 and 1000, means 2 ratio CT. After putting the tag we will enter the CT standard. We are performing on IEC 618692. So it is important to select standard always. After selection of standard, we have 2 cores of metering and protection, but we are testing now protection core. So we will select the accuracy class which is mentioned on CT like 5P20 and the burden is 30. ALF is the accuracy limit factor which is defined on the accuracy class like 5P20. ALF means the CT will saturate after the secondary current goes to 20 times of the rated secondary current at rated burden. So after putting the ALF, we have to select the in-service tape S1 to S3 and we will put the CT ratio here of core 1 like S1 S2. Always take a common as a S1 and core 2 as S1 and S3 because we have 2 ratio CT. So first core has 400 and second core is 1000 by 1. After putting all the necessary data of CT nameplate like core 1 is 400 by 1 and S1 to S3 is 1000 by 1, we will put OK. After putting OK, we can run all tests like together in CT like ratio, saturation, winding resistance. Insulation resistance test we will perform with the Megger because with this MVCT we cannot inject higher voltages to test the insulation resistance because it is only for up to 300 volt. It's better to use this separate Megger device for IR test. For CT test we will run all tests and here is the selection which test we want to perform. Saturation test, so for all cores we will select from here, and ratio test, winding resistance test. So insulation test we will not select because we have limited voltage in this test set. So we will start the test. So it will show you the connections for CT. For CT we have to connect primary side and secondary side connections like shown in this diagram. As per diagram, first of all we will verify our connections. You can check these are the primary. This CT is the window type, so primary and secondary connections are done like this diagram. After verifying connection, start test. First it is checking leads, means verifying connections. After checking leads, it will start testing. Now it's testing winding and start the injection to calculate the winding of the CT. It will perform all tests together because we have selected run all test. First it will calculate the winding resistance. First test is completed. This is the winding resistance of all core. I will show you all the results in final report after performing this test. Now it is performing CT saturation test. It will take somehow time because CT excitation knee point, it will calculate the saturation point of CT. Saturation point of CT, we have magnetizing current and secondary voltage. So magnetizing current should be low and the rated supply voltage, it will calculate 50%, 50%, 50%, and it will make a curve graph, and at the saturation point it will record all the readings. Like you can check here, after the saturation test it will create a graph against magnetizing current and secondary voltage like this. So now the final test, which is CT ratio test. Similarly it will apply voltages and start injection to the CT to calculate the ratio of both ratio of the CT, and after calculating the ratio it will generate a combined report for the ratio test, winding resistance test and saturation test. So we can check the report here for the core 1, and this is the scrolling button with which we can scroll our report. So percentage error are 0.6, 0.2 and minus 0.1, which are all in acceptable limits, polarity corrected, and winding resistance are shown here. To check the tests are satisfactory or not, in the MVCT we have page 2 of report. So for the page 2 we can click directly on page 2. At the bottom you can check page 1 and page 2. Click on the page 2. So it is the final report, CT test report. Accuracy limit factor pass, current ratio error, CT ratio error pass, phase error pass, composite error which is also pass. So this we have to check all the tests pass or not. So this is the report, and the accuracy class also pass. It means all the tests on this CT are pass. So to save this report we have option in MVCT test set. We can click there to view the report. This is the report which I shown to you, and to save click on this folder and insert a USB if you want to save in the USB, or to copy from USB. These are the options. For the USB, this is the port in MVCT test set. Insert USB, it will shown here, and then click there because USB is not installed, therefore this option is not available right now. So we can save the report. So we perform a test on ratio test of CT, winding resistance test of CT, and insulation test. Insulation test we will use another Megger or IR tester. Thanks for watching.